We're here today in Dublin at the track, Sun Drive in Dublin 12, I think it is, Paddy, is that right? Yeah. And we're talking to a man I always wanted to talk to, has knowledge of cycling much more than I do, especially of the Irish scene, because I only here 10, 12 years that I'm covering this. So it's good to ask the oldies about what happened here before me, really, you know. So we're talking to Paddy Doran from Enduro Coach, Peak Endurance Coaching. No, but Paddy will tell you yourself. Paddy, how are you?
Good, and thanks for inviting me along, Dany. It's nice to talk to you. We're doing great work with the Belgian project.
Thanks very much, Paddy. Tell me a bit about your first sign of cycling in your life, you know.
Well, I was born in the inner city in Dublin, just off of Con Street. And we used to mooch around on bikes, messing around the streets, and probably the old ladies giving out us for flying in and out of the flats on our bikes. But the first bike I got was a bike of an uncle of mine, a big old rally, 3-speed, and we used to cycle out into the country on that. And if we were cycling to Blessington up the embankment, and it was stuck in top gear, and I was about 13 years of age and weighed about 6 stone, so you can imagine.
And how did you progress after that?
Well, I got to like the bike, and I got a bike, was all the time messing on bikes, and I got a racing bike then when I was 16. I started racing when I was 16 in the 60s, and got in touch, and I was very lucky to join a club with John Lackey, Lord Mayor, and who was brilliant, and moved on from there and raced over the number of years until I got married and had a few kids and had to stop. Couldn't train the way I wanted to.
Did you win anything particular?
Yeah, I won a few good ones. I won coast-to-coast stages, and I won a couple of Tour of Ireland stages, which was a very good level, and that was important to me because I had a few opportunities to go on Irish teams, but I don't fly. I just won't fly, so I didn't do them. So to get the opportunity to race here against international riders and beat them was very important to me, you know.
And you still don't fly?
Still don't fly.
So you never been on an airplane?
No, the last time I was offered to ride on an Irish team for the Tour of Belgium. I said, can I go with both? No. Right, good luck. I was never offered that fact.
Right. Yeah. So, and after that, how did the coaching come about?
Well, I started coaching. I always liked coaching. I always felt from the time I was 14. My father was a professional footballer and loved sport, and would have talked a lot about running and so on. And I used to study those coaches from the time of 14 or 15, and I always wanted to coach. And I started coaching before I finished racing, and got into it with Noel O'Neill. And it's interesting, this year's Roaches, the 30 years since he won the Tour. And the first coaching I did was actually with Noel O'Neill out, and he was trying to develop Orwell again. And out of that little group came Roach. Right. So that was the first coaching I did with O'Neill, and you know, he got the group going on all sorts of bikes, and Roach on his grandfather's old bike, and then we used to loan the bikes to race and so on. So, well, I liked the coaching, and I always liked it. I loved the challenge of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And probably very happy that somebody of your lads or girls doing well.
A lot have done well over the years, yeah. And the good thing for me is most of the people I trained over the years and worked with, and it's always 50-50. You work with them, it's them and you know, and they all still like riding a bike, which is very important to me, you know.
Any big names you could mention that you coached?
Well, I would have coached Power. God, there's loads of them. Paddy, O'Brien at one stage, Stephen Gallagher won the Ross. There's gangs of them, you know. I'd have to go back and look it up. I'm always looking forward, and I was very lucky. Siobhan Horgan, who, you know, all still have the best results for Irish people here in some of the races, you know. So there's lots, and I'm dealing with young Ryan Riley now, who was well up last week, and Mark O'Callaghan, a few of them, and other ordinary riders who might just want to ride the Ross as a challenge and get through it, and it's all the challenge, you know.
Ryan is doing very well, you know. I'm very well. Yes, I know. But he was one of my lads that he surprised me. He was in the Tour of the North 2 years ago. He was my best rider as well, you know. So he came sixth, I think it was, you know.
And the other important thing for me, from a coaching point of view, is that he's just finished a physiotherapy degree, so he can get work. Whether he gets money out of cycling, he can still employ himself. If he meets a girlfriend, wants to get married, he can have a career for himself.
The problem is, once they find out that girls are soft and handlebar is hard, there is you lose a few.
Some of them.
Yeah. But now let's go to the time now here, because we talk for the past. There's a little of country. What would you call it? A bit of hassle with the women racing now, especially country. Here we are. Sorry for that, because my English sometimes not that good, but controversy about the women racing. What is your spell on it?
Well, I was down at the championships. The championships in Tonga, right? Yeah. And I was down there. And first of all, Derek Webb and his crew did a fantastic job. And what happened there was out of their hands, I imagine, right? Yeah. But I think, and again, looking forward, it should never be put in a situation again where an organiser might be put in that situation. Yes. So however it's resolved, there should be absolutely no chance that the women's race will be interfered with in any way. Yeah. That's their championships. They work very hard. Over the years, the best group nearly that I've ever worked with is the Women's Commission. Going back a few years, they were very proactive. I was helping them build up the women's cycling, and they've worked really, really hard against the odds. They've had to push for it and fight for it all the time, and they shouldn't have to do that.
But Paddy, there is no woman in any road commission, anything at all.
No.
How the hell they can promote it?
They should do, and some of the reason is some of the women don't go enough for these things. Do you know what I mean? They need to be more proactive. But Cycling Ireland, certainly, they need to take responsibility and make it that the women can go on. And studies tell you, in banking and everything else, women add, in terms of governance, they add to all these boards. Because when there's too much testosterone on the boards, hassle. It's like the two big stags in the forest. And I've seen it over the years. Whereas women can bring that a little bit more sense to it, and as I said, working with some of the women, fantastic. What leaders and what intelligence, you know. So they're really missing out by not getting the women involved, you know.
I personally think, if I come from a country where it's much higher and the women are much better supported as well. And here you see nothing. They don't even send them to races abroad to get the experience. Yes, they're not as fast. Yes, they always would have been caught on the circuit like that. You know, I know that, but that's not the organiser's fault. You know, it should have been separated in the first place.
If they had a slow bicycle race, it doesn't matter. If they decide we're going to have a slow bicycle race, this is our championship. That's neither here nor there. They deserve to be unimpeded, But
unfortunately, it happened, and I saw the thing on Sticky Bottle where a lot of people started making comments and negative comments as well. That was no need to, because I think if you have seen how these organisers have worked there, they were just fantastic.
They worked hard for more than a year at it, fantastic. And the men's race was fantastic. The circuit was a great circuit. It's just it's unfortunate, but it should never be allowed to be unfortunate or anything else. That the women deserve their race. That's it.
So if anybody here of Cycling Ireland maybe see this, this is not cut. This is what Paddy thinks, and I think I agree with him as well. Support women racing a bit more, and we maybe never come to that sort of thing again like we had last weekend, if I may say that. Paddy, one more question. What is that all about, power meters?
Well, they're useful. I see them as very useful, and they're useful especially for the higher intensity efforts and for testing. But if you're just thinking of power, and over the years I've had a number of phone calls where a guy says, come here, listen, you need to see this guy. Look at the test he's done, 500 watts. And you talk to him and you see, well, he's actually not that interested in putting his life into cycling. So that's one. Or else, he can do 500 metres, but when someone is in around the bunch of him and touches off, and he's and he can't ride his bike straight, he could do 10,000 watts and it doesn't matter. So it's a combination of, and the bike, the road especially, the intelligence of a rider. As Kieran Powell said one time at a coaching thing, with a smile on his face, well, you need to know how to race. Do you know what I mean? So the ability to race, and the ability to have the sort of intelligence to train and feel as well. And if you're going up a mountain, if the power meter is telling you that, but you're on a bad day, it could be telling you lies. You know, so actually what you feel like is very important.
When I raced, I never had that sort of stuff. I hadn't a clue what it actually was. I hear now from you a little bit or whatever, because that's all you see now on Facebook is these power meters and strata, and I just I don't know.
What matters is the results. You know how you get your results, and you get them by being a good bike rider, knowing tactics, having intuition as to when to go, when not to go, and that can be done by that's experience. You know, and heart rate monitor is still very, very important, because it tells you a lot of things of whether you're getting tired, whether you're overtrained, a lot of those things, you know. The combination, the ideal is judging how do I feel, what power am I putting out, and what's actually happening to the heart rate. And if you think of it as a car, it's your The power is your speed, maybe. The heart rate is the revs, you know, and then the whatever is your feeling. What's it feel like? And that saves the car. If you're doing them and looking at all them things right, that saves the car going boom and going up in flames. You know. So it's the same with you. So if you use them all properly, you get good benefit.
Thanks for that, Paddy. Just tell the viewers maybe about your coaching, and you just promote it a bit if you want to.
Well, I have peak endurance coaching, and I look at groups. I train some groups. I train people for sportives, for racing, and you know, as I said, for the Ross and so on. So I also do presentations to clubs and so on. And one of the things I'd like to see is more people actually doing, learning about cycling, learning about learn the whole nuances of the thing and how to put a program together and so on. And as you say, not just power. I can do 400 watts. So what, you can do 400 watts? Can you go around the corner quick? Do you know how to hold the wheel properly? Do you know how to ride in the side wind? All those things, they're all important. And they don't change.
Well, I don't make, because I interview a lot of people, and I don't really promote people as such, because there's that many of them do it. But I would recommend that man here from Dublin. And if you ever get lost in Dublin, see that man as well, because he can bring you to the good places.
Send me to Romano.
Yes, you send me to Romano, and if he sees it, how are you doing there? Great coffee. You can get that. Paddy, thanks for talking to us.
Best wishes with your
yes, okay.
project.
Cheers. Okay, thank you. That's it.